Prayer in the field of silence. When the three pillars of survival mode. There is a space inside where silence reveals the truth of the body's ancient instincts, a truth carried across centuries of survival, embedded in the very fibers of being. To live as a human being is to carry within both the gift and the burden of these survival patterns. They were designed to protect, to preserve life when the world outside was filled with danger, when predators hid in the shadows, when survival was uncertain. But in the modern landscape, where the threats are not claws and teeth but deadlines, memories, fears, and imagined futures, these same instincts often imprison the heart. The first pillar rises in the body, as the sanctuary and battleground of existence. The body becomes the stage where the survival drama plays itself out again and again. When stress awakens its silent command, the body shifts into vigilance, scanning itself for weakness, for pain, for signals of danger. The chest tightens, the heart beats with urgency, the breath becomes shallow. Muscles coil as if preparing to strike or flee. Energy that would normally heal, repair, and regenerate is rerouted, withdrawn from the long cycles of growth and poured instead into the instant furnace of reaction. In these moments the body is no longer a temple of presence, but a fortress of defense, prepared for battle, ready to survive even at the cost of thriving. This preservation instinct has saved countless lives. Yet when it is rehearsed day after day, even without real threat, the body begins to forget its deeper purpose. It forgets how to expand, how to soften, how to dissolve into the safety of being. The immune system weakens, digestion slows, repair falters, and aging accelerates. The body, once designed as an instrument of harmony, is caught in a loop of vigilance. And the awareness that once could be free to explore creativity, to experience joy, becomes fixated on every twinge, every sensation, interpreting them all as warnings of danger. The second pillar rises in the environment. In survival, the senses sharpen outward, scanning for potential threats in every direction. The ears catch the faintest sounds, the eyes dart for movements, the skin becomes alert to even the slightest changes. Hypervigilance turns the outer world into a field of potential enemies. Every gesture, every look, every word from another becomes data to be processed, potential danger to be preemptively confronted. The horizon of attention narrows to the immediate. Who is near, what is happening, what might come next. In this mode, long-term vision fades. The dreams of the future, the reflections of wisdom, the deep imaginations of creation are replaced by a narrowed focus on the immediate now. This here and now is not the sacred present of stillness, but the compressed present of defense. It is the present of the animal, crouched, ready to run. To live in this state for too long is to forget how to gaze at the sky with wonder, how to plan with faith, how to trust that the unknown might also hold blessings. The third pillar is time itself. In survival, time bends and warps under the pressure of urgency. A single second stretches into eternity when waiting for something terrible to unfold. A day can vanish in a blur when stress drives the body into frantic action. The brain, seeking to manage the unknown, leans heavily upon the past, mining old memories as predictive tools. If danger came once, the mind assumes it will come again. If betrayal was experienced once, the body braces for it at every encounter. Thus the past becomes a prophecy, repeated endlessly, sealing the future into a mirror of what has already been. Time becomes an enemy in this cycle. The present moment is not free but distorted, stretched, and compressed. The past weighs down like chains, dictating reactions before they even arise. And the future is no longer an open field of possibility but a projection of old wounds replayed in anticipation. This distorted relationship with time robs the spirit of its natural expansiveness. For when time is feared, life is narrowed to a corridor of repetition. These three pillars, body, environment, and time, form the architecture of survival. When they are activated, they keep the organism alive but at a cost. They ensure immediate safety, but they also build walls around consciousness. They protect, yet they confine. For a moment of genuine danger, this architecture is sacred and necessary. But when it becomes the habitual home of awareness, it begins to suffocate. It prevents the fullness of living, the openness of connection, the creativity of true presence. The prayer then is not to reject these pillars for they are ancient allies, but to see them with clarity, to honor them, and to transcend them when they are no longer required. The body must be taught again that it is safe to release its grip, to redirect energy toward healing, repair, and creation. The environment must be reframed not as a field of constant threat but as a canvas of possibility. And time must be unbound from the chains of the past, restored as a flowing current of now, where memory and vision serve creation rather than fear. So, in the silence, let the breath become the bridge. Breathing deeply, the body is reminded of its original rhythm. Each inhale expands the chest not in panic but in openness. Each exhale dissolves tension, releasing muscles from their coiled defense. With repetition, the body remembers that it can rest, that it is not under constant attack, that the sanctuary of stillness is possible. As the body softens, awareness shifts from survival to presence, and energy once hoarded for reaction is liberated for renewal. Turning outward, let the environment be seen anew. Instead of scanning for danger, allow the senses to discover beauty. Notice the shapes of light on the walls, the subtle harmonies of sound, the gentle movements of life. The same heightened sensitivity that once searched for enemies can be redirected toward wonder. What once was vigilance can become receptivity. The environment, then, is not a battlefield but a landscape of mystery, filled with textures, colors, and invitations for the spirit to expand. And for time, let the past be thanked but released. Memories are not prophecies, and yesterday's pain is not tomorrow's certainty. The present, when entered without fear, becomes the doorway to all possibility. In this silence, time slows into presence. Each moment is complete, carrying within it the seeds of the future, not as repetition but as creation. The future does not have to mirror the past, for the quantum field responds not to memory but to intention, not to fear but to coherence, not to habit but to vision. For in the quantum field, the energy that shapes reality responds not to the frantic vibrations of fear but to the elevated states of love, gratitude, and openness. These frequencies cannot be reached while locked in survival. They require the surrender of the fortress, the release of hypervigilance, the loosening of time's chains. Only then can the field mirror back the fullness of being, the possibilities of becoming, the abundance of a life not confined by fear. So let the pillars be acknowledged but not worshipped. Let the body be cared for but not obsessed over. Let the environment be seen clearly but not as a constant threat. Let time be honored but not feared. In this alignment, the pillars transform. The body becomes a temple again, the environment a garden, and time a river flowing toward creation.